Hi there. Today I'm going to answer a much asked question, and that is there are so many tips and tricks and hacks out there. And this particular person is asking me, how do you keep it all straight, remember everything, and still have time to create? So I want to talk about this because it's absolutely a question that everyone struggles with at every point in their business, and it's really normal to be struggling with this. But one of the things that really helped me to get to the next level was to understand that I could only consume so much information, and I also needed to decide what information is important for me right now versus what information is just noise to me right now. Like, it might be important in the future, but I can't do anything with it now. So a great example of this is in my corporate job. A lot of times I would sit through PowerPoint presentation after PowerPoint presentation after PowerPoint presentation. And after a while, you start to realize, okay, I know that I'm sitting here and they told me to sit here, but I don't really need this to do my job. Like, this information that they're giving me is just pointless for what I do in my job. Like, for example, I was in marketing and SEO. So when they were giving me information about how to set up systems that had nothing to do with what I was doing, I didn't really need to listen to that. I could kind of tune it out. And you kind of got to do the same thing with business. You have to understand that there's only so much that you're capable of doing at one time. And while you can learn and learn and learn all day, that's great. What you want to do is you want to take it one step at a time. So for example, let's say you're looking at your shop and you realize that your photos don't quite compare to your competitors. And you know all these other things about marketing. You're reading about SEO. You're reading about a million different tips you can do to raise conversion. But the fact is, you're getting hung up on those photos because you know that until you change those photos and make them just really blow everybody else's out of the water, you're not really going to be able to get that much further, no matter how much you know about the other stuff. So what I would say to you is really give some thought to what is most important first, what needs to take the priority, what can wait versus what is holding you back from making sales now. And that's how you go through all those things. Whenever I create a to-do list, I like to theme my to-do list. So instead of having a to-do list with 50 million things from 50 different categories of stuff to do, which not only feels really overwhelming, but is also really hard to carry out because you're switching tasks and you're not really focused in any one task. So, for example, I had a to-do list about 90 days ago. My to-do list was financial mastery, because even though all of my finances were in the right place, I was getting to a level where I needed to redo all my accounting. I needed to redo all my taxes. And I also wanted to boost conversions in general, because a lot of people noticed a conversion drop over the summer. So I wanted to see if I could boost those conversions during a low period. So I themed that 90 days financial mastery. And anything that had to do with boosting my financial knowledge, boosting my conversion rate, and boosting my income, those are the things I prioritized in those 90 days and nothing else. I learned a lot of other things in those 90 days, but those were not the things that were in my themed to-do list those 90 days. So I wrote them down and kept them for the next 90 days. And this allowed me to really hyper focus. And it also helps you to kind of get things done to full completion before you move on to something else. So you know that everything's good. I can walk away from that financial stuff because it's all in order. Everything is going smoothly on its own now, so I don't need to touch it. I can move on to the next 90 days and I can do my own thing. So that is how I would go ahead and tackle that problem. Thanks for listening. Bye, guys.